Alright, so welcome to part 2 of the super simple Simon Grafana setup. I just thought I'd share with you this little script that goes and runs a speed test every, well, 1 hour, half hour, whatever you want to schedule it to with cron. And what it will do is it'll go run a speed test using speed test CLI, and it will grab those results and put them into an influx database. And I kept them a little bit separate this time. So we've got our ClickD database pulling a lot of ClickD information to there, and this speed test one will just go to the speed test. So, for other scripts, you can create different databases. There's probably no real right or wrong way to do this. It will mean you need to add another data source in Grafana, but that's really not the end of the world, is it? So all we've got to do is it's really, really easy. Jump over to the blog, which is in the comments below, of course, and there's a bash script there. All you need to do is copy that. So copy on your host, connect to obviously SSH to your host here, and type in sudo nano edc default, and this is where we're going to put the this folder is where we're going to put the speed test script. So speed test .sh. Okay, we'll whack this super awesome secret password in and paste that script. Now, only thing you really got to pay attention to is the database here. So as I said before, I've got mine in a separate location. And remember that in the last thing I said about 8086, so we're actually using curl to post to port 8086, which is sort of Influx's way of receiving that data. So write that out, Control O, Enter, Control X. Now, one thing you got to really quickly do to make that usable, anybody should know this one, you got to make it executable. So there's a command. Now, to make this work, you're going to need to install the speed test CLI. So it's super simple. Sudo apt get install speed test -CLI. Okay, yes, we want to continue. Let it do its thing. Doesn't take very long for this one. It's only a small package. That's what she said. Okay, installed. So yeah, just hit create database, speed test, enter. So there we go, we've created our database. You can see that it's here in the drop down menu. If we go show measurements, we can see that there's nothing to display. That's awesome, that's good, means it's working. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to check that it's running. So really simple, sudo the bash script that we have there, and just press enter. Now, it's not going to verbose log all the everything that it's doing like it normally will. We've sort of put the silent tag on if you have a quick look in the bash script there. So it's just going to give you this, which is, I suppose, really uneventful and not helpful, but we will know it's working when in here, when we hit show measurements, in just a second once it completes its speed test. Yep, there it goes. If we go show measurements, there we go, speed test. Great, this is really good. So now we can go 192.168 to your server's IP address. Of course, don't go to mine because I'm not going to get to it. Okay, so jump back into your Grafana's web page, and because we've added a new database, it needs to be added as another data source. So we hit data sources, add, and we're going to call this one the speed test source. It's not going to be the default one, InfluxDB. Once again, just like we did before, and we're going to use speed test add. Fantastic, the data source is there. Now let's head back to a dashboard. This one's completely blank at the moment, so we'll just create a new one. Let's create a graph, and what we need to do is we need to give it something interesting. Internet speed test, once again, nice and pretty transparent. We'll leave it the full width for the moment. So we're going to create 3 queries for this one. We say default, and we know from, my apologies, bin that. So create a new source from the speed test, and we need to select speed test, where the host equals netmine3. So you might have a couple other servers that might all report into Influx. So we'll define this while we're here, because later on, yeah, you could have lots of things in this database. So you want to select the field download and give it a medium. Time interval is fine. Okay, so we need to give this one here a name, so let's call this one download speed. Awesome. We're going to add another one. Make sure it's panel sourced from speed test. And we're going to say speed test where host equals netmon3. And we're going to select the upload value this time and give us a median. So we'll say upload speed. Cool. And the other thing it does measure is ping. So we'll add that in there as well. So once again, speed test where the host equals netmon3. We're going to use the ping value in this one. So ping. Now, see, the graph doesn't really give you much to sort of work with here, does it? What's all this about? We jump across to our axis. This is where we set up these units. Now, as I said, I think in the previous video, there's so many units in here, it's insane. But we're just going to type in bits, so data rate bits per second. Cool. That's all good. We're going to turn that one off for the moment because we don't really need it. Let's have a look at the display though. This is where it gets cool. So I like to represent this graph in bars using lines. Okay, so let's save this dashboard. This is going to be called testing 1, 2, 3. All right, so we've got this graph. This is sort of really cool. We've run the script once, so we've got one data point. You can run this as much as you like to provide different data points. This is all manual, obviously, so we're just testing, but we're going to cron this in just a second. So I just want to show you another data point, just to give you a bit of an idea. Internet's not too bad here, 82 megabit, not too bad at all. This is running over a while sync, so it is prone to a little bit of fluctuation. While sync that we'll get to later on, we'll start graphing out some ubiquity statistics as well. Okay, when we refresh this, you can see now that it starts drawing lines between the two data points. So when we have, in our instance, we're going to graph this out once an hour, it will actually show you, it'll link up the points. So it might look a little bit seesawy, but yeah, obviously the more frequently you do it, the more accurate it'll be. But if you have a very fast link, you should be very careful of that too, because you will use up a lot of data running a speed test, say on a 100 megabit or a gigabit link. Wish we had gigabit here in Australia, but anyway, another story for another day. Okay, so now our script's definitely running. We've seen it in Grafana. We need to go and schedule this to be automatic. So sudo nano etc cron tab. And all we do here is we simply paste in this command here, which basically says, hey, on the 0 of every hour, run this script as root. User, run this script. All you do is you got to write that out, and that's it. Sit back, relax, wait a couple of hours, and you'll get some nice little speed test graphs all the way through here. I'll post one in just a second. Okay, so it's been a few more hours now, and we can see here 58 meg, 33 meg. So on the hour, it is running the speed test and sort of linking them up just a little bit. So at the moment, it's another 10 minutes before we get the next one through. So there you go, a bit of an indication to your internet speed.